Hello everyone, my name is Zach and welcome to my channel. Amongst other things, I'm a reenactor and a jouster, and today I want to talk to you about one of my favourite films from a historical point of view, which is A Knight's Tale. Now, it might be surprising to you that A Knight's Tale is one of my favourite historical films. If you've ever seen it, there are some very obvious anachronisms in it, things that just really are completely and utterly incorrect. You may be surprised, though, that there is a fair number of things that are actually just taken straight from history. William is a made-up person, it's a made-up story, but there are some aspects and things that happen to him in the story that are completely historically correct. The other thing that I really like about A Knight's Tale is that although it does include lots of things that are anachronistic, that are incorrect, they're very clearly signposted. Now, a lot of things that find their way into historical dramas are kind of pseudo-medieval or, pseudo-historical. They seem right to our modern eye, but are actually incorrect. The idea that everyone's covered in mud, or that everyone below the level of knight doesn't have any teeth, or, stuff like that. All of that kind of pseudo-medieval stuff is incorrect, but because people assume it is correct because it's in a film, it adds to the myth. However, when a film like A Knight's Tale puts something in like We Will Rock You by Queen, or face paint on Jocelyn when she's going to a dance, that sort of thing is very clearly signposted to us that it is incorrect. And it's just giving us the idea that the knights are the rock stars of their time, and that the medieval dance is like the club of the period. The knights are rock stars. That's why we're using rock music, and Jocelyn and her friends are the young ladies of the day. They're going out to parties, and that's why they're wearing things that might be not 100% historically correct, but give us a better idea of who they are in the story. Now, before we get into it, I also want to just share something that's pretty exciting for me. I have just opened a merch store, so you can get things like this hoodie here, I Wish I Was Jousting, and a few other designs, which you can find in a link down in the description below. But with no more ado, without any further waffling, I'm going to give you 2 things that are correct in A Knight's Tale and 1 thing that is a little bit wrong. So, number 1 is the broken helmet gag. Now, at the beginning of the film, William by the way, there's spoilers in this. The film is 20 years old now, so if you haven't watched it, it's your fault. Anyway, beginning of the film, William manages to stay on his horse in a joust, but he is hit very hard in the head. So hard, in fact, that he's unable to remove his visor. Now, this is actually really important for the story. The story wouldn't have gone any further if he hadn't have been hit in the head, because they would have very quickly realised who he was, and the game would have been up. So it's very fortunate for him. But this is actually something that we have recorded in another knight, a real knight's story. So William Marshall is a famous knight from England. He partook in tournaments a lot in France and in Britain, and their story goes that after one tournament, they were going to give him the prize he'd won, but they couldn't find him, and eventually they found him with his head on the anvil of a local blacksmith, trying to get his helmet removed because it had been squashed onto his head. So this is actually something that is completely accurate. It's a moment taken from a real medieval story, a real medieval thing that happened, and added to this. Second, dancing was super important. So again, spoilers, but William needs to go to a dance and he needs to impress some people. So he stays up all night trying to learn how to dance, and then they tell him that he needs to show them a new dance himself. This would be absolutely terrifying, because dancing was a huge part of medieval noble life, and actually also a massive part of the tournament. So the fact that William hasn't attended a dance so far would actually be quite weird. In fact, some tournament announcements even contain descriptions of what prizes are to be given to the best dancers as well. There is a tournament that took place in London in the 15th century where the knights handed out prizes to the women that they judged to be the best dancers. So yeah, it really was that important, and William would really have to work very hard to try and fit into that kind of a situation, and hold up his illusion that he is a well-educated man and a member of the gentry. Okay, this is the third one. This is something that's kind of right, but also a little bit wrong. So William is jousting to prove his love. Absolutely a completely legitimate reason to joust. In fact, many tournaments included in their announcements the reasons why they were holding the tournament, and very often it included impressing ladies, whether it was a particular lady that the organizer was trying to impress, or whether it was just women in general. The tournament book of René of Anjou lists that as a good reason to hold a tournament is for all of the young knights of the kingdom to be able to impress their ladies. Anyway, he does that, but he is doing it by losing, and in order to lose, he just stands still. Now, in the film, he gets really, really hurt doing this. Much more hurt than he does in any other scene except for the last one. Whereas actually, this seems very unlikely. You see, the impact of the lance would be decreased if William were to stop, so much so that it would actually be very difficult for his opponent to break their lance on him. The best way to give your opponent a good shot would be to ride towards them, continue riding as fast as you can, but not lower your lance. It's very likely that William just standing there would actually get him thrown out of the tournament for not providing a good enough target for his opponents. So he wouldn't actually get hurt here. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please leave a like, please share, and please subscribe if you haven't already. And do check out the merch link in the description down below. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.